MS Talks International Public Speaking Championship 2021.
Friends, it's time to call upon the next speaker. He is an entrepreneur, a speaker, a writer who has authored 2 books, Inner Calls and Truthful Untruths. Both his books are a judicious blend of poetry and prose where he tries to demystify the mysteries of life by engaging in a dialogue with self in the deepest of silences. Those silences are clothed in words, those words which do not continue and contract but refine and liberate. He has a designated blog space in Times of India. So interesting. So dosto, let's invite with a huge round of applause Mr. Vineet Singh Galotra from Amritsar.
Do you identify this flower? Well, beyond doubt, this is a rose. Ladies and gentlemen, you, me, we all are born as a fragrant rose, meant to retain our innocence and spread cheer and fragrance. But as we grow up, we shred apart petals of our innocence one by one and blow up our fragrance by getting trapped in the clutches of a monster by the name ego. Respectable dignitaries, the accomplished jury, and the lovely audience. The topic on which I am going to express my views is ego, a fascinating devil, ahankar, a khoobsurat bala. Before I start, I shall love to share something from my own life. I grew up in an extremely middle-class background with only 2 shirts and a single trouser as my wardrobe, always surrounded by hugely well-off relatives who, under the influence of their ego and money, never ever used to miss a chance to pass toxic comments on what I wore and the way I looked. On seeing them, I resolved to myself that I shall stay away from ego if I ever became successful in my profession. By God's grace, I did become reasonably successful in my profession. But ego entered my system without my knowledge and pre-warning. One fine day, while I was sitting in my office, busy attending to a professional call, an elderly-looking stranger immediately entered my office without my permission. I immediately called my security guard and blasted him for making a stranger enter my room without my permission. My security guard apologized profusely, but my anger showed no signs of retreat. That elderly stranger, who was a witness to all this, smiled and said some life-changing words. He said, "Son, though your stand is correct, but your conduct is entirely wrong. It is just a matter of chance that you are sitting there at that seat and your security guard is standing in front of you. Do not get consumed by your ego, as your ego is a trap where you do not know what you are doing." And he left immediately. I was stunned and speechless. On that day, I came across the ugly face of my own ego. Taking forward, I shall share 3 factors leading to ego. The first and the foremost is that we are too obsessed in finding ego in others. While criticizing ego of others, we very silently fall in a trap of silent ego within ourselves. And surprisingly, we are completely unaware of our silent ego all our lives. We create a shell of non-communication around us and start suffering from a pehle aap disorder. Now this pehle aap is a very strange disorder. As in this disorder, you keep on waiting for the others to make the first call. which never happens, and the story of non-communication goes on and on, on and on, on and on. दिल तड़प रहा है तुमसे बात करने को, दिल तड़प रहा है तुमसे बात करने को, बस जिद ये है कि गुफ्तगू का आगाज तुम करो. The second factor leading to ego is a world of professions. We are all living in a highly competitive world of professions. Today, we have an IIT, Indian Institute of Technology, to manage our scientific interests. Then, we have an IIM, Indian Institute of Management, to manage our commercial interests. But an institute, III, triple I, Indian Institute of Intellect, to refine our intellect, to manage our emotions, is still a far cry in this country. We have all become experts in our science of profession, but are yet miles away to understand science of life. The third factor leading to ego is success and money. When success strikes our life, there is craving for more success. And when that craving translates into still more success, we go into a vicious circle of believing that this success is a continuous phenomena and shall last forever. What we forget in that zone of success is that our decisions translate into success only when there is a strong resonance of frequency between our actions and God's intentions. ना कर गरूर ए बंदे तू अपनी कामयाबी पे, ना कर गरूर ए बंदे तू अपनी कामयाबी पे, उस रब ने तेरे जैसे कितने बना के मिटा डाले. Towards the end, I shall sum up by saying that in case you want to stay away from ego, focus on your limitations, not on your capabilities. As when you focus on your limitations, your inner spark, your inner chingari to refine yourself shall never ever blow out. बस एक चिंगारी से आग लगती है, वो चिंगारी तो सोई है तेरे ही सीने में. करता है क्यों शिकायतें, पहले सुधार आदतें, एक एक बूंद से ही बनता है समंदर. खुद पहला कदम उठा, खुद अपनी कसम तो खा, तुझको पता नहीं कि खुदा है तेरे अंदर, तुझको पता नहीं कि खुदा है तेरे अंदर. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Vineet Singh Galhotra talking about ego and leaving this guy with lots and lots of ego. Thank you.
MS Talks International Public Speaking Championship 2021.